Hi, my name is Allison. I'm 43 years old. I live alone in the woods with my 2 dogs, and this is week 20 of my weight loss journey. I'm glad you're here. We're taking a break from our meeting. I have 5 minutes. I am starving. Oh my God. When you're off the rails in your eating. Hey, look at that. I can hold up the phone higher. When you're off the rails in your eating and you choose to start fasting, it's a whole hell of a lot harder. I don't miss this. It's back. I'm so hungry. I just finished 5,000 steps and it is 12:43 p.m. This walking desk is changing the game, folks. It's a good thing. Work is over for the day. I am at 5,700 steps and it's 4:10. The task for the rest of the evening will be some yard work because it's nice and cool. So I'll do that for as long as I can until I get tired. And then I'm going to come back into the house and get ready for having somebody over tomorrow. I have a second date tomorrow afternoon and evening. He's coming over in the afternoon to see my property, and I am cooking dinner, and then we are going to karaoke with friends. So it should be a good evening. I hope that it goes well, and I've been pretty excited about it all week. The standing desk today was a real game changer. I'm pleased that I got that. I don't think I'm going to be able to do any substantive kinds of work at the standing desk while on the treadmill, because the kind of work that I do is a lot of movement of data and data entry and data analysis, and it requires a lot of precision, and I just don't feel like that's going to be real feasible on the standing desk. However, anytime that I'm involved in a meeting where I just need to contribute or listen, the standing desk is a huge game changer. So I'm pleased that that has come into my life. It was only $55, although I would have bought the more expensive one if I had more money to spend, because the up and down feature is nice, although I'm not so sure how often I'll use the up and down. Now that I've gotten it to the right height, I think it's just going to stay at the right height. But I wonder if I might use it in a seated position, like at the couch for like a little occasional table, if it was more adjustable, which it is not adjustable. It is lying when it says it's adjustable. So I'll put 2 links down in the description. I'll put the link for the one that I bought, and then I'll put the link for the one that I wish that I bought. But that one's 3 times as expensive. No, my math's bad. No, my math's good. 3 times as expensive as the one that I bought. One was $150 and one was $55. And so I bought the one that was only $55. So I'll supply you with both links if you're curious. Tomorrow morning, I'm actually going to go up to a farm that's east of me and pick up some veggies so that I'll have more veggies to cook for dinner tomorrow. And I'll also then have some salad mix, which I'm very excited about, local salad mix. It is about that time to go hit the yard. Wait, that sounds like I'm in prison. Hit the yard. Yeah, that's not what's happening. I'm not in prison. We're going to go do some yard work. Let's do it. I came up here to murder the blackberries that are overtaking my house, but look at how well they're doing. These are the beautiful small ones that are wild. I don't have the heart to cut these down. No way. Tonight I have cleaned my house. I have walked 10,000 steps. I didn't finish that until almost 10 o'clock. I was hoping that I would get all my steps done while I was tidying, but I was 500 steps short. So I just jumped on the walking pad real quick for 5 minutes and got it done. Now I'm locking up the house and turning off the lights, and it's time to call it a day. I'm feeling pretty pooped. Probably gonna go watch some YouTube. And I think that's it. It's Saturday, day 134, and I'm down 4 pounds almost today. It is 7:50 in the morning, and I want to go to the farmer's market this morning to get some steps and to get some berries. And I also need some stuff for dinner tonight that I can't get here in town. So I'm gonna go into Big Town and go to the market and take the dogs and walk them and maybe take them to the dog park and yada, 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 you know, just like do the morning things. And then I have a date at 4. So I'll be back by then. I went to the farmer's market and now I am headed up to the bagel place because my friend by the sea wants a bagel. So I'm gonna go get her a bagel, and then I'm gonna try really hard not to buy myself a bagel. They're the best bagels, oh my God. And then I'm gonna go out to her place and visit, and I got some great lettuce for salad for dinner tonight, and I got some balsamic for dressing. And I'm gonna pull steaks out of the freezer, and it should be a damn good dinner. I'm excited. Ooh, I could pull some dinner rolls out of the freezer too. Now I got potatoes, that's my starch. Yeah, off to the bagel place. Behold the loot. Let me show you what I got. We got some berries, raspberries, strawberries, and cherries. I got a Nutella bread for my neighbor. I got lettuce for tonight's salad with dinner. My friend gave me a pot of beautiful purple flowers. I got some potatoes, balsamic, and Earl Grey tea at the grocery store. And then my friend gave me some tea leaves to dry, green tea leaves. So that's pretty exciting. And also this rug. This is going to be used on my deck. So yeah, that was a pretty good visit, a nice trip to the farmer's market. It's really chilly here today, which surprises me. I'm noticing as I'm looking at the shirt that it's fitting differently. It kind of pops up a little bit more in the back, and the neck and shoulders are fitting differently. And my friend and I today were talking about the last vlog, I think, or maybe the second to last one. But anyway, the one where I experienced the binge with the chocolates. And then the next day, my face was so puffy in the morning. And I noticed it, and then she also noticed it. And I don't know if any of y'all noticed it, but I think that, oh, and then I also got a rash. So that's the second time that I have had a skin rash caused by a chocolate binge. So I think it's something about the chocolate, which other people have commented on. Something about them being a histamine. I can't remember the name, but please comment again if you know what I'm referring to. Histamine enabler, histamine blocker, histamine something. Anyway, but I find it interesting that we both noticed and happened to mention how puffy my face was from that chocolate. So I think when chocolate's involved, there's something more than just, I think there's some sort of like fluid retention, inflammation response that's more significant than normal. I don't know what it is. I want to say I should experiment more, but I don't know that that's the answer. Anyway, it was a good visit. I accidentally ended up at a protest, which is fine. It's here in the US, a lot of people are protesting President Trump today for No King's Day, meaning that we don't want kings. So I actually passed another protest on the way home, which you, of course, saw footage of. I honked. I land squarely in the middle, folks, but I appreciate the right to protest, so that's why I honked. So it's just interesting to be around so many people with such passion. I just always appreciate that, even when I don't always agree with every point, maybe just some of the points. So yeah, it's been a good day. Now I have to go become a hostess, and hostess with the mostest. And how are we doing on steps? 5,200, and it's 125. So I need to get as many steps as I can get done by 4 done, because that's when my date is arriving. Oh, I'm nervous. Okay. Check you later. Okay, I was told to dry the tea leaves, so I have the tea leaves hanging up to dry. All right, let's process the loot from the farmer's market, but first let's move this dog food. Well, I guess it's not all from the farmer's market. So I got some Earl Grey tea because I was out. I got some balsamic glaze to use in salad dressing this evening. I got some red potatoes, 4 of them, and I'll be grilling a few. Then at the farmer's market, that was from the grocery store. At the farmer's market, I got a beautiful head of lettuce that has some dog hair in it, from my own dog maybe. I'm unsure, but it needs to be washed anyway. That was wet. Well, shit. Anyway, and in this really wet bag is this gorgeous head of romaine, which I will tear up as soon as I mop up. Okay, come here. Come on, bags. Okay. I try to use as few paper towels as possible, but so something like water is easy to clean up with the towel because it doesn't stain. That's right, I was going to tear that up. I need to wash my hands. Let me throw this away. Because that was torn up with unclean hands and a ring. I used to be a restaurant inspector, and lettuce is the riskiest food for transmission of foodborne illness because it doesn't get cooked. So it can easily be cross-contaminated by hands or in the fridge with improper food storage. So just keep that in mind when you're processing lettuce, that it is a high-risk food and that it is important to be as careful as possible with lettuce storage and processing. This was a lot of lettuce because I got 2 heads of lettuce so that I'd have 2 different types of lettuce in the salad. I gave half of each head to my friend because I knew I wouldn't be able to eat it all. And this is still a ton of lettuce, which is exciting. And I've always been told and have had the experience that when you tear lettuce, it lasts longer than when you cut lettuce with a knife. So that's why I am not chopping this, because the chopping bruises the leaves in a way that tearing doesn't. But if you wring it and tear it like I did, it causes all this bruising in the leaf. So that's not a great way to do it. Shouldn't have done that. I didn't do that with the romaine, but I did that with the oak leaf lettuce. Okay, that's looking good. Needs to be washed. Oh, I have a few straggler leaves. Okay. Okay, let's clean all this up. Whoops. It's situations like this when I wish I had compost. What you barking about, baby? What you barking about? Now let's handle some of these berries. We have strawberries, we have raspberries, and we have cherries. The raspberries aren't the best, which is a bummer. Strawberries are okay. Cherries are really good. Oh no, berries overboard. Gonna have to shove them into my face. God, I love berries. Oh no, more berries fell out. I'll have to eat those as well. This is the smaller measuring cup that I stole from my stepmom. Sorry, Jill. Kinda. I'll bring it back if you really want it. But we're trying to make Maverick lose weight. Okay, I got the raspberries washed. I find that they get really soggy if I put them straight into a bowl. So instead, I just said I try not to use paper towels, but if I do this on a towel, it will be forever stained with raspberry. So I'm gonna pour those raspberries out onto a baking sheet, a half sheet actually, with paper towel on it, and let them kind of dry off before I put them in a bowl. Because if I put them straight into the bowl all wet, then they will kind of get mushy. They'll lose their shape. And then I'm going to put a couple paper towels on top, not with any pressure, but just to wick up excess moisture. Then we'll set this over here. Now that that's done, let's get the strawberries. Wow, that's a lot of strawberries, way more than I thought. Woo, okay. Cherries. Okay, we have cherries, we have strawberries, we have little green boxes to clean up. Get this wiped off. I need to take some meat out of the freezer. We both just want tenderloins, but the tenderloins I have are super small. I'll also thaw a sirloin. Yeah. I'm going to cook these up for him, and I'm going to eat that. And then my date arrived at 4, and it was a great evening. It's Sunday, day 135, and I am now up and down in big numbers each day. I'm really struggling, folks. I am moving slowly today. I was up very late last night. It was a very good evening. My date was kind, polite, respectful. He was a lot of fun. He came over at 4. We toured my property. He was very interested and inquisitive. Then I cooked dinner and he helped a little bit. We had steak and potatoes and salad and garlic scapes that were grilled. It was delicious. The steak was a little bit overcooked. The garlic scapes were not as spectacular as I've had in past years, which was kind of a bummer, but that's okay. The potatoes turned out amazing. I usually undercook my potatoes, so I was really proud of myself that they were done well and on the barbecue, no less, because I didn't want to heat up the house with the oven. And then the only snafu in the day yesterday was that I didn't make my steps. Yeah. So let me tell you what ended up happening. So we were hanging out and it was 11:53 p.m. and, you know, it was me and friends and him, and karaoke was over and we'd come back to my place, and I'm like, I say to the group, oh shit, I need to get my steps. And it was 11:53 and I was like whatever. I was very, very close to the finish line. And so they stood out on the porch with me as a group and chatted while I finished my steps. However, I got to 9,885 steps at 11:59 p.m. So I missed it, according to the watch, by 115 steps. Now this watch significantly undercounts steps, so technically I still made it, but technically I didn't. So I'm very curious what you guys think. Does that, since I was on the treadmill at 11:59 going as fast as I could to try to beat the time, and I only missed it by 100 steps, and we know that the watch undercounts, does that count? Did I do it or did I not? I don't think I did. I think that it means I missed a day, and we'll see what that means, if anything. Like, it doesn't mean anything. What am I talking about? This is, at this point, a mental toughness challenge for me. And I was putting in the effort, and that's the part that matters to me. So yeah, that's where I stand on that. But I am very curious to know your opinions. I am a little worried about getting to my steps today because I got a late start because I was up late. And I'm only at 1,000 steps so far today, so I'm going to have to make a concerted effort to get it done. But I can get it done. That much I know. And we have reached the end of this video. If you have arrived at the end of this video, leave me a clock emoji in the comments to symbolize the race against the clock that I had at midnight last night to get my steps in. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate a like, a subscribe, and a comment. This is a vlog that comes out every 3 days or so about my weight loss journey. So if this is something that appeals to you, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Oh, I also have a membership, especially for you diehard, watch all the way to the end folks. If you want to see my videos early, a couple of hours early every time, as well as make sure you get a reply to your comments, priority reply to comments, go ahead and join our membership. I'm trying to get up to 5 members so that I can start doing members only lives. And right now I have 2 members. The members only live level, I think, is like $3 or $4 a month. And then the early access to video and priority reply to comments is less than that. So it's just a way to support the channel if you're interested. If you want to, where you would normally see the subscribe button, you will see a button that says join. And that's where you can join the channel membership if you're interested. So thanks for listening to that little spiel. Remember, if you're on your own weight loss journey, we've got this, and we'll see you again in a couple of days.